Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at in the world, man. Let's get to it. We got 4 minutes out till the close up here at Big 31. And I gotta tell you, we're either looking at a big soft bear channel. However, that big soft bear channel is now attempting to get more and more aggressive. So, we shall see if I'm in the situation of any reason to get short. And if that's the case here, then I'm slanging. How we doing, guys? Again, that is the big question here. Big soft bear channel or soft bear channel getting more aggressive, attempting to turn into more of a bear trend. 27, 28, 29, 30. The hardest down move that we've had in the channel. Not necessarily of the day. That would be basically 10 through 14. But we'll see if we get this bounce here. In the meantime, any reason to get short here for me. There we go, ATR 51. Risk, we're talking about half an ATR, actually less. That's it, bears. Take it downside. Ooh. Stepping up to the plate, not quite enough there. Man, what'd they give me? Yeah, about 20, 22 points in the money here. Nope! Brandon Jackson, Alex Canada, how we doing? How we doing? Oh, you bears! Get me within a point! 2 points! And then fail on me? Okay, flat. Keep it pushing here. We got 40 seconds out until the close of 31. ATR actually increasing a hair here up to 53. And we'll see if this bounce sustains itself. Yeah, if you're just joining us here, this is currently the question. Big soft bear channel. Can you guys believe it though? We take out 30K. We take out 30K, and then we give it right back. Still retaining most of yesterday's big move upside here. But it seemed like those bulls just wanted a little test. We didn't even get to 30,100. There we go. ATR 51. Similar little scalp here, about half ATR risk. Rovio, how we doing? Big Roy? What's up, brother? Good to see you. Come on, you baby bears. We got a minute 23 here. Left on big bar 32. There you go. Okay, half ATR scalp, book it. Keeping it moving. Cop your flat. And keeping it pushing here. Okay, 50 seconds. See what we can get here as far as a close on 32. How we doing today? By the way. Gamma says up 250 total on an eval and funded. Good work. Okay, getting a lot of bear hesitation down here around these lows as we try to take this guy from a soft bear channel into a bear trend. Which makes me see the counter argument, which is we might see something like that. Otherwise, it might take a second. We'll bounce back up into the big soft bear channel. Right? Ideally, we would just fade into a big bear trend, and I'd continue looking for any reason to get short for scalps. But after those two, I'm looking at that as having a little potential. So I need a little bit more nuanced development here. See, these bears are just having a lot of trouble taking out these lows. Just these last 3 bars. That doesn't scream trend. That just starts saying, Bulls, I think, want to see a little sideways range. Doesn't mean they're going to get it, by the way. But if I'm still looking for any, at least reasonable, given the context, reason to get short, I'd prefer not to do so in the potential lower third of a sideways range that's looking more and more like it may have some potential here. So, keep watching bar 33. ATR saying right around 50-51. All right, bears trying to take out the wick low of bar 32. Having a little trouble here so far. What are you guys thinking? Is this thing going to fall out? Or are we going to bounce and maintain that bearish channel? Of course, option 3 is, again, this little sideways range, but though it's a little more of a shorter term option. Making it happen. What's up, brother? How we doing? You can see this little battle going on here near the low. I think the bears are really tempted to make this a bear trend, but the bulls, I think, are seeing the strength that, they're having near these lows, trying to turn it more into a sideways range, or at least maintain the soft bear channel and buying up when the bears try to take it beneath the wick lows of, see 30 into 31, 31 into 32, now 33. Getting bought up down there near the low. For me still, though, I'm looking for any good reason to get short. Of course, that's not just any reason at all, but it has to fit the context. Because any reason at all, if you want to go that far, would basically be on any tick whatsoever. Which is not what I'm looking at, but I'm pretty open-minded here to reasons to get short as of right now, given the context of what's going on. And this is for scalps, by the way, rather than day trades or intraday swings. Looking for little base hits. Nico, my man, what's up? This is NQ, Nasdaq Futures. Yeah, so getting short right around in this region here, for me, that would be a bet on either the sideways range or maintaining more of a bearish trend look. It would not necessarily be a bet on the full soft bear channel, but again, with scalps are allowed to be, on the averages, a little less, there's less expectation of edge That's a pretty strong bull body. Of edge per trade. Okay, so you take more trades with less edge per trade and still produce a predictable profit at the end of the day. The problem with most scalpers is they don't take good scalps that make logical sense. They kind of just do random things, and they realize that in hindsight. But let's see here. I can take that and use this, get it placed quick, and then make your adjustment. Because with scalping, the edge is so small. I don't want to leave my stop open-ended in case we get a big news pop. That's going to blow out the edge across like 100 trades. At least 10. Probably more like 5. Yeah, the stop here is very, very tight. Like less than a third of an ATR, which is really, really tight. By the way, I don't encourage scalping if you're a beginner trader. Those of you guys who are at least intermediate, if not more advanced, it's a good way to pad things up. If you're a beginner, it's also a very good way to give away your profit that you make on the higher quality stuff. Yeah, just scalping here right now. These bears fading this back. There you go. We need more than that there, bears. You know, I gotta tell you guys, it's kind of bizarre here. It almost feels slow. With an ATR of 51, it's certainly not slow. It almost feels that way, though. There we go. Full R. Get flat. Come on, copier. All right, flat. Keep it pushing. 10 seconds here until we get the rollover of 34. By the way, in chat, how many of you guys would consider yourselves... How should I ask this? I guess I'm curious if most of what you guys do is day trading, which is in between the following two, intraday swings, which could last hours, or scalping, which I would consider... I don't know. What I've been doing already here today. I mean... I go into a lot of trades, you know, intending for it to be a scalp. Sometimes things slow down and ends up taking a lot longer. But I would never go into a scalp intending for it to take 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Whereas day trades, you know, it could, within reason, take 20, 30, 40 minutes. Although I wouldn't prefer that it does. Most of the time it doesn't. Sometimes it ends up taking that long. Are most of you guys, would you consider yourselves scalpers, day traders, or intraday swing traders? I understand that we all do all of it. Okay, don't box yourself in as a trader. It's goofy and it's not the most profitable thing. To box yourself in, I mean. But what would you identify as? Rovio says swings, scalping, day trading and scalping. Ooh, I'm so surprised. I wonder why everybody likes to scalp the best. Yeah, me too. My regular day trades that you guys see are really like the biggest drivers, but I've always, for 10 years, scalping has been my favorite thing to do. And also highly profitable, but I'll also say, again, a lot of you guys, the business model of scalping is just different. It's just different. You know, you're doing, I would say, more work for the similar end result, but I'm enjoying it maybe more, I guess you could say. So I prefer to do it. If you're someone who wants to do the least amount of work for the same result, then I would probably encourage you to be an intraday swing trader. The problem is, I think it depends on personality type a lot. Actually, I know it depends on personality type a lot, because for me, putting on a swing trade, 3 times a week bothers me because I know that there's sample size issues there. You're not taking enough trades. Now, the issue is, with that statement, is that swing trades out of the 3, day trading, swing trading, intraday, right, and scalping, each individual swing trade will likely on average have the most baked in expected value, which is convenient, but also correlated with there being a much lower sample size. When I'm in a swing trade for 4 hours, I don't think of it personally, based on my personality type, as being less work, because I'm sitting here managing it bar by bar. As long as I'm in the office, I'm going to be managing it bar by bar, as necessary, which is it still feels like work to me. Okay, so I prefer to be engaged, but I also know that there's so much money to be made just in the in-between, the regular day trades, the stuff you guys see me take all the time, that obviously that also has to be in there. But as far as, having a great time and also making money, scalping is my favorite. But for a lot of beginner traders, I think hanging up the scalping while you get the day trading locked in and get money coming in and actually go full time might be beneficial, but I get it. Like, you're going to want to come back to it because it's the most enjoyable thing for a lot of us. I'm not surprised that's the truth for a lot of you guys, that you like scalping the most, because I am also that way. But don't sleep on the regular day trades, because those will also make you a lot of money. Even though they're a little slower. I get it. Roland says, whatever RAM is. Well, RAM is really all of it. Yeah, I hate to be that guy. Someone mentioned SpaceX stock. I hate to be that guy, but do you guys remember during IPO time around SpaceX stock, I would not stop talking about how there's massive issues with the thesis that everyone was pushing around they're going to buy it and hopefully it'll just moonshot and they'll get rich overnight. And I said, there's a huge market cap issue here that everyone spewing this doesn't seem to understand, which is the market cap is too big for that to even be realistically, which I hate that word, but feasible. Because you would need $20 trillion to flow into that stock for it to do what a whole bunch of people were wanting it to do, and now it's just done nothing but fade. Hate to be that guy, but you got to look at the actual... If you have a thesis for a stock to 5x or 10x or 20x, the absolute bare minimum, you guys, is that you look at the market cap and say, is it feasible that this company in this industry, even with hype, could attract that amount of capital necessary to 5, 10, or 20x the stock? Is that feasible? And if it's a relatively small market cap and you have a big thesis for the company, or you trade social arb or whatever it may be, then that answer very well may be yes. But if it's one of the biggest companies on the planet and you're expecting it to 50x, there's probably some capital issues there, homeboy. Bare minimum. Okay, we are 2 minutes out here from the close of 36. And we do have a full soft bear channel. So 36 has not snapped up the context here, at least not yet. So ATR sitting at 52. We'll see how 36 closes up in less than 2 minutes. Testing 29.8, by the way. Hopefully we don't head up back to 30K and just sideways range around 30K the rest of the day. That would not be tremendous. Nico says, can you give a 60-second breakdown on how you scalp NQ? What do you look for on entry? Well, I have two responses to that. From one Nico to another, first of all, what you just asked, and this is no dig on you, but let me just make it clear to you. You just asked me to teach you how to do open heart surgery in 60 seconds. Now, I don't want to overcomplicate trading, but there's a lot of context involved, and there's some nuance involved. And it's not open heart surgery, but just to prove my point, we can make that comparison without being totally out of left field. Okay, however, I don't think you're an effective teacher if you can't boil things down to a relatively simple idea. So when I'm scalping, here's what I do within RAM. I identify the context, I use price action based stops, and I'm always thinking about that equation of my somewhat expected probability or quality of the trade compared to reward to risk potential. Can I make sense of when you interlock those two? Do I have reasonable expectation based on all my experience that will result in a positive expected value trade? If the answer is yes, then I take it. I place my stop in the logical price action based stop point, and I accept the outcome and move on to the next. I know it sounds silly, but if my goal here is to make money, then I can't think of my job as I just need to make money, because that's not how this works. The market will pay you for taking a large sample size of positive expected value, or AKA statistical edge baked in, of trades. The vast majority of which should have that baked in when you look back on it. And you'll say, okay, so I took 1,000 trades over X amount of time and I wound up with a predictable profit. That means I had what? Statistical edge, positive expected value. And you can actually boil that down to each individual trade based on the predictable profit you had at the end of it of, okay, so each individual trade, winner or loser, had a positive expected value on average. Because there's no hard concrete numbers. The market doesn't tell us what the expected value is of doing X and risking X in any given moment. That's our job. And that's why this can fucking pay you so much. if you put in the time and really get good and disciplined and practice good emotional control most of the time, ideally all the time. All right, so now there's really a couple of options here, right? This is not unexpected, or at least surprising, I should say. This hesitation here, because we've got a big soft bear channel, and this was a very aggressive. I mean, look, what's the expectation here? That 37 is going to open up, close way the hell up here? If it did, I'd be getting long on it. But there's a reason I didn't get long on 36. I said it as this was happening, that it has not broken the context yet. And now here on 37, having a little bit of issues. At least taking it higher. All right, so we got a big bear rejection bar here, 37. We got about a minute, 5 seconds out till the close up of bar 37. We'll see how that closes up. Now again, I'm still considering this. This is a very, again, okay, so for scalping in the upper third of a soft bear channel, I'm looking for, first of all, nothing to the long side in the context of this. In a channel like this, though, as it develops, I would be looking, my baseline is sort of, okay, I'm looking to get short on small to moderate bull bodies around the upper third of that channel, so long as I can make sense of the risk using a previous price action based curl. Okay, whether it be 26, 27, 25, this bar itself, had this been a little smaller and then this guy rolls over and fades, I can actually get short and use its own wick high. That also makes logical sense. That is much more of a scalp though. So let's see here. No fill. Pull that order quick. Keep watching. Give me a fill, and you can see I can use this. And that, by the way, that's a bet on the big soft bear channel, right? So risk on that guy is 17 points, a third of an ATR. It's tight. It's very tight. Some wiggles here. We may have just gotten a small headline. Looks like volatility might have just increased a hair, at least inside of this bar. These bears can take out the wick low of 37. Ideally, it would go nice and quick. And backfill that full soft bear channel, which I certainly don't need the full soft bear channel. Okay, bulls are going to try to take us back upside flat. Let's see if they can actually get us away from this channel now. Copy or get flat. Now, there's a lot of times there's a transition period, right? Where that can turn into more like this. And then eventually into something, this is really early, but something like that. Don't make that baseline assumption, though. For me, if I'm like baseline, it's like one, it's either this or this. Sideways range or big soft bear channel. Now, by the way, if I wanted to put on more risk and bet on the soft bear channel, I could get short and risk the wick high of 37 if I wanted to. But that would no longer be as, you know, you could still call it a scalp, but it would be less of a scalp than it would be like a maybe 1 to 2 bar trade, maybe 3. A lot of scalps are usually intra-bar. Okay, ATR is 53. There, get the rollover. I want to see if we can get a little bit of confidence here out of these bulls. Because again, if context remains either sideways range or soft bear channel, you know how I operate. Bang my head against the wall until that's no longer the case. There we go. See if I can get a fill. And use the wick high of 37. You can see that contextual look pretty clearly. Now, if the bulls were going to come up, take out the wick high of 37, even the wick high of 25, all of a sudden that changes things quite a bit, unless we just fade right back immediately into a sideways range, which could kill volatility, which we certainly do not want. But in the meantime, range in the context of channel. Royal, what's up, brother? How we doing? There you go, Bears. Right back into the channel. Keep fading that thing. Ooh, they take it real close. And then they rip it away. SR in chat. I don't really understand the question, big dog. That thought process is not in my mentality. I think genetically that doesn't even cross my mind. Otherwise, if it did cross my mind, at least enough to lead me to action, I would not be here. I would have quit trading long before I found success. Get the rollover. There we go. Half ATR, get flat. And I'll keep watching bar 40. Keep moving here. See if I can get a continuation setup back downside. The soft bear channel's wide enough. Maybe trading range, but still wide enough. Question, a trader who loses money consistently, loses his savings, etc. What would be your advice? Quit trading or something else? Look, I can't give you advice on that. Because when I was starting trading, I lost like basically all my fucking money multiple times, and I kept going. Because I don't know, man. I think it's genetic. I just have a self-belief that you can't kill. It will not waver. If it can be done, I guess I can do it. I just believe that to my core, in my soul. I always have. If you know, I don't know, man. If you don't really have that mentality, then like maybe you should just stop. But I would never tell anybody to stop, because fuck that, homeboy. You trade as small as you can until you're like, oh, statistically I make money. And then you scale it. Come on, guys. A lot of you guys, you're like, man, I don't know. I have $1,500 saved up. I don't want to lose that. It's like, dude, if you go to zero, you will be okay. I promise. If you're that motherfucker, you will be all right. You'll figure it out. But you're telling me that you have aspirations and dreams of living a certain life with a certain level of comfort and friction-free and a certain level of maybe convenience and charity and generosity. You have the world to gain and like fucking nothing to lose. What are you talking about? I don't understand that mentality. All right, bar 40. We got a minute 25 out. Prairie Trader, my man, what's up? Okay, so you can see here, I've seen this movie before. You can see here, this is one of those situations. Those of you guys who've been trading RAM for quite a while at this point, you know what I'm looking at here, right? This is one of those situations where it's like, yeah, I've seen this movie. The market is doing this because it's confused which of these is going to become a thing, and it doesn't know what to do. Do we maintain the soft bear channel? Do we actually slowly but surely maybe go sideways for a little and then fade up into a soft bull channel? So right now, at least on this, in this instant, which can change very quickly, for me, it's hands off. Hands off, taking quite a few scalps already here on stream. Hands off, wait for things to develop, even if it takes another 30 seconds. And then I'm back at it. So you see how this market's confused. It's bar 38, 39, 40, 41. Yeah, this is that exact, you're looking at this. Those of you guys who've been at this a little while, you're like, yep. I know exactly what Nico's looking at. Market's trying to figure out which context here we're going to fulfill. And the default expectation, I think, at this point has to be sideways range until it's not. Because that sideways range is the most dangerous. So it takes precedence over the other options. Right, when you have multiple options, that sideways range, the most dangerous one has to be the focus. Madeline says could literally go either way. Yeah, 100%. Probability-wise right now, since we're looking at that sideways range, we're looking at about 50-50 bullish-bearish, which I'm not into 50-50. So, hands off here. Give my scalping fingers a rest. And let it develop. Hey man, if you haven't yet, by the way, hit like here on YouTube. Or dislike, big dog, whatever you gotta do. I appreciate you hitting the button. Big Bart, what's happening, big dog? Okay, minute 15 out. Bar 41 here has done basically nothing for the last 2 or 3 minutes, which supports our thesis here of the market being confused in its current state. Basically since bar 38. By the way, if you're new here, we number our bars around here for quite a few reasons. It's just counting the bars, every other of course, since the New York Open. Not only does it make things easier for the stream, but I do this first and foremost for me. The end of the day review, which is a 5-minute review, which takes me about 45 seconds, is a lot easier when you number your bars. So if you don't number your bars, you're tripping. And we got bar 41 here rolling over into 42, 15 seconds out. Why odd numbers? Yeah, you can look, you can do even, of course. I know, the odds. If it were up to me, I'd probably pick the evens. I've just been rolling with the odds so long now because it starts with 1. Okay, so when I look at my end of day review, I'd rather have, because it goes from 1 to 78 for the regular New York session, right? So I'd rather have 1 labeled than have it start with 2. That was just when I picked, I was like, well, it's got to start with 1, right? How many of you does that bother that it's the odds? I know, me too, but I've just been rocking with it so long. I can't switch now. Come on. All right, bar 42, 345, out. Well, it's been a little while since I've checked in with you guys about how long have we been trading. So in the chat, I want to hear from all of you, every single one of you. Put down your coffee, pull the car over in a safe space, I better add. Put down your breakfast, whatever else you're doing, you sicko. And put in the chat, how long have you been trading? I want to get a feel for what our demographic here, because we typically have people anywhere from, hey, it's my first week, to I've been at this 35 years. Been killing it for 32. All right, 6 months, 3 years, 2 years, 6 years. Just getting started doing research. 18 months, 1 year, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Tom has the record here so far in the chat. Oh, Big Tony, 40 years. Rovio, are you full? Rovio says 67 years. I don't know if we believe Rovio. Man, it's crazy. Tremendous mix. GT says 18 years. Here's a question for you. Ready? Any of you guys, anybody here, even just one day, did any of you guys trade in the pits when the pits were a thing? Even if you just traded in the pit for one day. I don't know, man. I wish. I wish. Oh, the pits. You guys know, in the movies, in all the documentaries, some in New York, but the pits were mainly a Chicago thing. Everybody's standing down in an actual physically lowered pit. And you would stand and you were like shoulder to shoulder, and you would hold your card, and they'd be throwing up hand signals, and they had the crazy vests on so that they were more visible. Oh man, it would have been crazy. There's good and bad, obviously, with both. Because we now trade what they called then going upstairs. Back then, if you went upstairs, you were like a trader. Like TRAITOR, not a trader. It was supposedly a head-to-head battle between people who chose to go upstairs and people who chose to stay in the pits. Because the pit guys, you gotta understand, they were making their money and their edge went away. So they were very angry, many of them, when electronic trading came about, at least in the way that we understand it now. The people who pivoted did a tremendous job. A lot of those guys, well, a few of those guys pivoted into software, made a few $1 billion. And the guys that didn't pivot, I think they're out of the business today. It's sad. Of course, you had people pivot into trading electronically and do very well. So, what did we just talk about back on bar 41? It's almost like we know what we're doing a little bit. Yeah, this market's confused. It's trying to figure out whether to maintain this big soft bear channel or take us higher. And what that leads to a lot of times is a sideways trading range, which is exactly what we're now getting, at least for a little while. It'll break out eventually. Which direction, you might ask? It's 50-50. Yep, that's right, tax man, less than 25 bucks. If you use code BIG, B-I-G, at Apex Trader Funding for a 50K intraday account. Which, by the way, those are the same funded accounts I'm trading 20 of here right now. If you're brand new to this, we had a lot of people who seemingly, when I asked how long you've been at this, we had a lot of people who were brand new, which, by the way, man, welcome. This is a tremendous industry. I don't think you're ever going to leave. If you were attracted to the markets, I think it was for a reason. A lot of us are relatively similar in the way that we think and probably have always thought our entire lives. This attracts a certain kind of person, and if you're here, you're probably that. So, welcome. You've now found your people. But you're probably not going anywhere. But if you're not really sure where to get started, I would encourage you, just get like one eval at a prop firm, whichever one you choose, and trade one micro. It limits your downside risk to what you paid for the eval. And if you trade one micro, the point is not off the rip to make a bunch of money, right? The point is to get to the point where you're making good, consistent decisions and you have a positive expected value, also known as a statistical edge in your trading, which means you're a profitable trader. Then you don't have to go through the painful process of just losing tons of money for, 2, 3 years, 5 years. I've seen people lose money for 20 years, man. It's ridiculous. But it's totally within your control. That's the smart way to do it. A lot of people would say, well, that sounds too slow. I promise you it's the fast way to do it. The slow way to do it is to do what most people do, which is to come in and try to make $1 million off the rip, but you don't know what you're doing because you haven't watched the market. You haven't been here for, years, if not decades. So how would you expect to, not train at all and walk onto the Super Bowl field? How would you expect to perform? You'd probably get fucked up. But if you trained for a while, maybe you could hold your own. Maybe. Right? So there's a lot at stake here, so take it seriously. And that'll save you a lot of money. And then also get you to making money quicker. Dad says at Apex, can we hold overnight? Nah. Intraday. Chat, with consumer sentiment at lowest point since May 2022, Is that a contrarian indicator or a reason to be bullish? Look, consumer sentiment has obviously always been a headline, and it typically leads to a little volatility upon the release, and it was leading to even more volatility back in 2022 when the headline read really for the entire market was inflation. Today, you know, it's like it or not, it's a little bit less relevant than it was then. Obviously, if you're looking at the market in that manner, you're not really a day trader per se, then certainly, you know, who am I to tell you not to consider it? You should consider it. But the market's very liquid. There's a lot going on. It's a lot more complex than simply consumer sentiment, right? And by the way, whatever news it is, you guys know how I approach news. The market's going to bake it in. Okay, so you will see the news without even necessarily needing to know the headline. You should understand it for the sake of knowing what you're looking at. But the price action is the source. Everything else is a middleman. JU says, what's the day pass? No, look, single day pass on the screen. It's not like you buy a day pass. What single day pass at Apex means is you can pass the eval in one day, is what that means, and then be funded tomorrow. All right, so 44 here would be the first bar closing outside this little range. Let's see if it can close up reasonably clean. I'll get a stop limit sell ready. Place it and see if the bears want to give me a fill here within a reasonable amount of time. If they don't, then I do not want to participate. There we go. Beautiful. Good. Sitting short. See what these bears got. Yeah, Bull's trying to reverse this hard back into the range. We'll see if they can. I've got my risk managed right above the wick high of 44. Pretty impressive reversal there out of the bulls. Let's see. They can hold it. Yeah, that's the right bulls. By the way, ATR is sitting at 43.44. Okay, we got 45. Roll it over into 46 here. Bar 46, that is. ATR 41. Well, what you got, bulls? You got that Wikai 44 or what? You know they're looking at that big sideways range thinking, yeah, we kind of want it. We kind of want it. Obviously 44, the short there is what I would call the early trade. But worth taking for me in this instance. Well, Bears, I don't think we have time for this, big dog. All right, ATR 42, 43. 45, 46. Bouncing around. Yeah, it's all right. Take its time. Okay, so average true range, which is the volatility here, it's the average range in points of a 5-minute bar here on NQ, is now down to 39. We're dipping below 40 for the first time here. So it's getting a hair slower. Okay, ATR 40. 222 out until 47 closes up. We got to move away here from this little sideways range before volatility tanks even further. It's right around break even here, man. Yeah, ATR 41. We've got 38 seconds here till 47 closes up. Obviously, in the last 4 bars here, we formed a little bit of sideways range action. That's all right. My stop is right where it needs to be. Things are definitely slowing down, man. Jeez. Bulls, bears, somebody wake up. ATR 38, 39-ish. Got my risk managed right above the wick high of 44. We've been all around the horn on this trade. All right, we got 90 seconds here. Till 48 closes up. And we've got a big old sideways range action here out of 45, 46, 47, and now 48. Though nothing to do as far as management here on these last 4 bars. Yeah, you know, with the Bears, sometimes you gotta yell at them a little bit. So if you guys could take care of that in chat for me, I'd appreciate it. The Bulls, you gotta talk real nice to the Bulls. The Bears, you get a little more leeway. All right, we got 48, rolling over here into bar 49. Bears making an attempt, ATR 37. We got a bunch of baby bears at the helm today. Oh man, teddy bears. This is the worst part about this occupation. When the market just goes sideways. It's been a pretty good day here so far, man. This trade, though, it's been 23 minutes of just sideways action. That's part of it. That's part of it. It's not all Lamborghinis and six-figure days. It's a lot of sitting here and watching the market do nothing. And then having the discipline to not overmanage your shit. And then accept the outcome and move on with your day. Chat, 52 micros is a pretty fucking big position. Are you trading a prop account? I'm trading a bunch of prop accounts, and this is a little bit sized down for me. because I'm in payout territory with these accounts, like multiple. So the issue is I would usually be trading a hair bigger than this in this volatility environment. But across all these accounts, if I trade any bigger than this, I'll blow out the max payout before I hit the minimum number of days. So it's unnecessary risk with no benefit. Okay. Big bar 50. Is 50 gonna be our boy here today? Yesterday, bar 50 ended up being a moderately sizable bar. Let's see if we can repeat that here today. Though the opposite direction would be nice. Question, isn't a better way to escape this nasty trade on break even? Sure, for you. Do whatever you want. ATR now sitting at 37. It's actually maintaining reasonably, but it is falling that average true range. Getting lower, but 37 is still a reasonable ATR, given the price action here of bar 45 through 50. Big Ed says, Nico, I sat in a trade for 2 hours on Sunday night. Yeah, brutal. Did what I had to for a successful trade. Yeah, look, I mean, you guys saw me take a bunch of scalps already here today. And then every once in a while, I'll take a trade. I'll manage it bar by bar as necessary, which most of the time means do nothing. And it'll take 90 minutes. Right? It's part of the game, man. You know, straight up, a lot of you guys are over managing your trades in a way that is arbitrary, that is not benefiting you over a mid and long-term sample size. It's actually negatively impacting you. And you probably know that deep down, and the reason you're probably doing it, over managing, is to protect yourself psychologically, which the problem there is that you have no confidence because you have no track record to yourself. Because you don't have a belief or a know that you are good at this and you make money when you do what you know you're supposed to do. Because you don't have a methodology. You make random decisions. Your decision-making process isn't repeatable. So if you do make money, subconsciously you know that, how do you repeat that? I don't know, I'll just enjoy, I made money today. That's a problem. It's going to lead to a lot of insecurity, which leads to overmanagement, which leads to fucking losing money. Not on one trade, but over a long period of time. Everyone's going to have losing trades. If you're coming into the industry and you're like, man, but so-and-so on the internet seems to always just win. Okay, well, so-and-so on the internet is fucking lying to you. That's not how this business works. You can make more money in this business than you think you can. And you will lose more trades in this business than you think you will. It's all right. It's okay. And by the way, you'll probably be more bored than you think you or ideally would be on a lot of trading days. It's also part of the job here. Bulls finally getting some volatility in the mix here. ATR sitting at 35. Let's see what they got. Chat. It can also be a capital issue, as in knowing you don't have a lot of money amplifies the sensation of pain when seeing the P&L red. Since you know you can't afford mistakes, then you trade smaller. There's an answer to all of these excuses. You trade smaller. You'll say, but I don't want to trade smaller. Okay, then keep doing what you're doing. I'm good, dude. Keep doing what you're doing. But the answer to that is you need to trade smaller. You're not desensitized yet. But the goal should always be, you want to be desensitized to as big of numbers as humanly possible, as young as possible. And I mean big. Big. So we're on bar 51, and we have been in a very wicky, lower volatility, sideways range type action since bar 45. My entry here, if you're just joining us, I took the early trade, what I call the early trade, on the close of 44. Stop above the wick high of 44, and I'm not over managing, as many people would love me to do right now. No, thank you, I'm good. So we've been sitting here waiting for the bears to take control, or somebody to take control. ATR maintaining 36. That's, it's a lot better than 16, I'll tell you what. Okay, so I have a problem here. I think I have coffee that's here now. And it's probably either, I don't remember what it's either getting cold or the ice is melting, depending what it is. If I was included in this at all. So, give me 2 minutes. I will be right back because I gotta check that out. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Are you kidding me? That's not nearly enough. ATR is 34. You know what I gotta do when things start getting slow? All I need to do is walk away. And the volatility just seems to come. I don't know what that's about, but it happens every time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Cole, take notes, man. Take notes. You gotta make a coffee run. Whenever the market's going sideways and you're in a trade. Seems to be the secret. Oh yeah, that's good. I've been trading for, well, it's probably 10 years by now, but I've been saying 9 to be safe, depending how you discuss the start time. 9 years, but like a decade. Roland says, scam bucks. Come on, big dog. Let me tell you guys something. If you're concerned about the price of what the fuck did this cost? This stupid coffee was probably $8.50, right? This thing probably cost almost 10 bucks by the time whatever's in here is in here. It's okay. Guys, you gotta stop using Starbucks coffees or Chipotle burritos as a measuring stick. You gotta stop. It's a mindset problem. It's all right. It's all right. If your girlfriend or wife wants to stop at Starbucks and you're like, no, we're not spending $8 on a coffee, but then you're sitting in the same breath talking about how you want to have 6-figure months as a big successful day trader, there's a disconnect, dude. I'm sorry to tell you, that's a mindset issue. I don't get it. You're hurting yourself by thinking that way. Here it comes. People hate when I say this shit. This is what I believe, dude. Come on. Don't worry about the cost of gas. Don't worry about what a Starbucks costs. Quit fucking spending 2 hours bitching about what beef costs. Make more money. You talk a big game, and then you spend 2 hours bitching about the cost of gas with your buddies. It's a problem, dude. You're worth more than, oh my God, gas is up 20 cents a gallon. What the fuck are we gonna do? You're you, dude. You're gonna be all right. See, Taxman gets it. Taxman's out here killing it, my man. Oh, these bulls, dude. What'd the Bears get me? 18 points in the money. Bunch of babies! Bunch of teddy bears! So you want to be a day trader, huh, big dog? This is the job. Sitting while it goes sideways for 45 minutes. Oh, man. Yes, we still want to be day traders, but I'll tell you what, this is something. This right here, the worst part of doing this. It always breaks. It always breaks. Just a matter of time. Mario says better than roofing in midsummer. Oh, man. Yeah, when I was a kid, we had our house re-roofed. Big group of guys came in. And we would go out and, like, I'm watching these guys work. I'm like, Jesus, dude. We, like, give them waters and sodas and food. And it's like, my God, these dudes are like, this is a different breed of work. Like, this is crazy. These motherfuckers, they'd come in day after day, before the sun's up, throw a bunch of shit on their back, and climb up the ladder over and over and over and over until the sun goes down. I'm like, these are some fucking providers. This is crazy. Bug said I'm a liquidity provider. We are one and the same. Fucking right, my man. All right, Bears. Nine bars we've been going sideways. Beantown Bully, big dog. What's up, my man? Time frame, this is a 5-minute NQ chart. 5 minute. What year did you become profitable? I was able to finally pay. Now, my bills were a lot less when this happened, okay? But rounding into that 3rd year of trading. It took me over 2 years. I also did a lot of dumb shit. And I had no one to help me. And this kind of thing didn't exist, really. A lot of people would say that's pretty quick. Didn't feel pretty quick back then, but in hindsight, I guess, yeah. Yeah, given the circumstances, it was reasonably quick. But for you guys today, man, it shouldn't take that long. I'm telling you, the resources you guys have at your disposal is just stupid. Alright, bar 54. Roll it over. Question. Nico, I have a question for you. How would you describe your trading journey in one word? Worthwhile. I could also say rewarding. I could also say brutal. If you gave me a couple of words, I could say forced change, as in, guys, doing it. This, I think being a trader and actually going from day one to paying your bills with trading, it changes you as a human being. It forces you to molt into who you, like that next level version of you. Like people, like you guys are in this same boat. Like, you can't wait to meet yourself in 10 years, right? At least I hope you feel that way. You better feel that way. That you cannot wait to meet the motherfucker you are a decade from now. I want to meet that guy. And this brutally forces your hand. Brutal. And in the best way imaginable. Doing this, guys, it'll break every limiting belief that you have, which, by the way, you might not think it's a problem. Remember this conversation we just had? It's a problem, dude. You have limiting beliefs you don't even know you've got. And they were bred into you from a child. You need to break it right now. Or you'll just pass it on, and it's hugely, massively problematic. Come on, Bears! Getting a bunch of nothing done. We're sideways for damn near 10 bars. Trading Chris, it's about time, dude. Jesus. Come on, man. There you go, Bulls. Give it up. Give it up to the baby bears who are about to grow up and take us 80 points downside. Tell you what, if this trade ends up hitting target, this is something else. With the price action we've seen while I've been in this trade here. All right, bar 54 rolling over into 55. Ooh, I don't want to speak too soon. I thought someone said they were making a phone call. Chris, you call him back, big dog. Nobody hangs up on trading Chris, I'll tell you what. It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock Eastern, are you kidding me? Look at that. Something else. Well, man, if you haven't yet, hey, I appreciate you pressing like or dislike, big dog, here on YouTube. What are we at? Can we get 150 likes? We have the manpower to do it, and you know that when the market's going sideways like this, I need dopamine. So I appreciate it. Bulls trying to make about their 17th push upside since I've been in this trade. Bulls! They got it. About time we got a little bit of volatility influx. Let my copier get me flat. All right. Keeping it pushing. Look at ATR down to 31 here. You kidding me? Now, you gotta understand, 80% of breakout attempts will eventually fail when you're in a sideways trading range. So we'll watch to see if the bears take us right back into the range. The thing is, you gotta manage your risk somewhere. Gotta manage it somewhere. So do I take another little scalp, bet on the range? Yes, sir, I do. Ooh, no fill. Hold that order, let it do its thing. HR maintained at 32. Yeah, it would have been nice to get a fill there. That's okay. That's all right. All right, question for you guys in chat. We're about 70-ish points away from the low of day. The wick low of bar 33 is the low of day. Do we see a new low of day before the New York close? Do we put in a new low of day? Yes? Or is 33 gonna stay the low of day, in which case you would write no? I want to see what you guys are thinking here. A bit of a mixed bag. Leaning toward yes, we will see a new low of day. So ATR is sitting at about 34. Tight little sideways range. Doxa says no, it's gonna jump to new highs. All right, well, a new high on the day would be what, the wick high at bar 4? Possible. Possible, you know, 300 points, we've seen it. Got a couple hours left here in the New York session. All right, guys, I'll tell you what, man. Hey, I hope we break out of this range and we get some more trades here this afternoon. But I got to tell you what, in the meantime, while we're in this range, now is the best opportunity to go hit some lunch. All right? All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. We got Thursday tomorrow. Pharaoh Friday. Be here before you know it, baby. All right. Hit like on the way out. Stay disciplined, man. I'll see you guys soon.